Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, I finally completed the move out. I'm back at home, but I managed to find a desk on Facebook for free, which is awesome. So I can actually show you my room now, which is nice. I say my room. It's more like my room on loan. Not my room anymore, but you know. I'll call it mine. Anyhow, I did the massive reorganization. You bet your sweet booty it did take a while to do. It was worth it, however. So, let me go ahead and get this up. I'm gonna have to get used to my seat and position here. Volume as well, but we'll see. Alright, here we go. Got the video up. I have spent like the last hour, maybe hour and a half, just like organizing stuff. It really does take that length of time sometimes. But it's all nice and neat. It's all good to go. We're pretty much in a position where if we decide to launch the offensive, we could go. Arguably, I could consider doing it like right now if I wanted to. But what I'm waiting on here is essentially tanks. So let me go ahead and show off what we've got over here then. I also have just this core over here. I was kind of thinking about taking the Army Leopold over here. Because he's a multinational commander, and he's also an army commander, he's actually really bloody good. So I really would like to make use of him, actually. His use will come definitely in the Italian War. So there, you could have him, my man. But yeah, Leopold von Bayern is a bloody good commander. And he will be very useful. He's not a great commander, but he's a multinational commander. And that is good. That's fairly rare. And will be very, very useful. So what I'm thinking about doing then is, in time, we'll have him sent over here to command either German forces, or Austrian forces, or Ottoman forces, or... but the main thing would be like Bulgarian, Romanian forces, perhaps. That would be very useful. That indeed would be very useful. But for now, what I was thinking about doing is either having him sent down here or sent over here. Just leaving a core over here and here. And the idea being, well, he doesn't have anything in Valdemoiselle. So this province is not actually threatened in the slightest. So I'm thinking, well, if I move down force this way, that could have him believe that an offensive could be building up over here. It would be interesting. Or I did consider actually having marched into Valdemoiselle. Is it me, or is there a path through? Well, this is it. We don't see what's in Nancy. There's very likely an army in Nancy. We did see an army move over here beforehand and then return. So I'm pretty sure there's an army in Nancy. But how you doing there, Josh? Good to have you, my man. I did think about moving an army over here into Valdemoiselle again. But the issue is I'm not on the rail lines again. Anymore at that point. I'd rather be on the rail line. It just makes life easy. Yeah, so I'm just thinking about this. Actually, if I do go down this way, I may end up, inadvertently setting off a French offensive here. So I think what I'll do is, I'll order the army of Max over here. Like so. We can just leave a corps over here. In fact, I could place a second corps over there if I wanted to, but probably not necessary, and actually not ideal. Well, to be fair, maybe I even have this army moved over here to Saarburg. That might be... Yeah, that might be a wiser idea, actually. Yeah, I think that's a wiser idea, considering that there's a French army here that could march on Saarburg. So it'd be kind of handy to do then, so we'll do that then. I don't need a lot over here, however. In theory, he could move there, but I kind of doubt it. But what I will do is take a core over here and have it move there. There we are. So, the grand reorganization. Jesus Christ. Did it take me a long time. By the way, this is another multinational commander. I'm going to go ahead and have him used on the Italian front in the future. He's a cool-headed leader, so he's pretty useful. Yeah, so units under his command may deploy better and more units may be able to engage the enemy when attacking and defending. Though actually, you know what? That is actually pretty useful. He could be a pretty good tank commander, perhaps. Oh, it's August von Mackensen. I don't know, I might have him retained, actually, and then sent out in the future. But it's okay. I'd rather... yeah, anyway, he can move down to the Italian front. We're alright. Yeah, so what I've got here then is I've got the army of Hindenburg, I've got the army of von Hausen, we've got the army of von der Kluck, and then I've got Oberost. Maybe I'd rename that. I don't think I can, but anyway, it's GHQ, so we know what that is. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've put the best in Hindenburg's army, and then the next best in von der Kluck, and then von Hausen and Represh are basically the same. So these are the strongest corps. So we do have here the super heavy artillery, and then we do have 2 divisions here and a brigade of heavy artillery, 2 divisions of brigade of heavy artillery, 2 divisions and 2 regiments of heavy artillery. Granted, I could have gone for like a brigade here, but here's a pretty strong stack. And right now I do have the armoured cars here, and I also do have the tanks. Now the tanks take up 1 command point. So what I'm thinking here then is I could probably... I think we could construct 6 tank brigades. So what I'm thinking is it's like I could have the 6 tank brigades in the in Hindenburg's army, perhaps, and then at least I do have them centralized under a very, very good commander, also with the most amount of support, with the most powerful corps, and the idea is you just basically compound what you have. And then when I take a look at von Kluck's army, you can see that we have, 2 divisions and brigade, 2 divisions and regiments, 2 divisions and regiments with support. The main armies all have 5 munitions, 5 supply, and support assets. I think von Bayern, that's it. Yeah, von Bayern couldn't have the same, but he's still got 4 munitions and 2 supplies, so that's okay. I do have cavalry corps, so we have 5 cavalry corps, and these are given artillery as well then, so that's pretty handy. I do actually still have some spare artillery and some spare cavalry, only 1 division of spare cavalry. But what I'm going to go ahead and do then is kind of have these guys used. I was thinking about maybe deploying them to the front, because obviously they do have reconnaissance, they could be kind of useful. But yeah, that's kind of what I've got there. So I'm just getting adjusted in this chair here. It's not an office chair, so it's like a stool. Yeah, and then over here we have still a good amount of medium artillery. And I think I still have some... Yeah, I've still got a couple divisions over here. We do have more divisions on the way. So I may raise some additional corps commanders. I could do really with another army in the west, and that would allow me to actually make use of these guys. If I had a multinational Austrian commander, that'd be great too, because I could make use of them. Now let me take a look. I'm not seeing multinational. No, not seeing multinational here. So, Konrad von Hotzendorf's army is on the way. This second army is a bit rough and tumble, but I could give them the German medium artillery if necessary, and maybe have them given new Austrian divisions perhaps. But we're going to kind of use like the Austrians just to really reinforce a push. It just gives us something that we can like push with there, which is pretty good. We've got about 800,000 Germans. We have a couple more divisions coming in, so maybe by the end we might have about 900,000 odd German forces, and then we might be, well, we'll definitely be safely at the 1 million mark with the Austrians. So that's what we're doing there. I'm taking the Austrians over here and moving them down to the Italian front. And yeah, there we go. Elsewhere, moving forces over here, moving forces here. I'm moving the 2 Austrian corps over here then to launch an attack against the Russian cavalry. I do have the army of Falkenhayn and von Below. Von Below is marching on Riga today. Falkenhayn's following up behind. I do have the Austrian army here of Ritter von Rudermann. He's moving over here, be here in 5 days. We do see the army of Rennenkampf over here. But what I'm going to go ahead and do then is checkmate, well, basically check the Russian army here. Take Riga in the meantime. Use the Austrians offensively and try and push. We have our forces continue to move over here. These guys are all active and all moving out in a very good aggressive manner. So yeah, they're moving over here. I could maybe go for... Maybe I do go for a higher level of attack. Just a sustained defensive, actually. Yeah, we'll go for a sustained defensive. That sounds good to me. And then at least if I can catch the Russians again. Which I may be able to do. But no, saying that, actually, he could retreat to Viborg. But we'll see. Could I make it to Viborg this day? Or in a single day? No. It'd be be 18 days. But what we'll do then is we'll arrive at this point over here at Kotka, and then we'll march on Viborg return after. Maybe he has forces return over here, who knows. But he's facing threats elsewhere. Just taking control of the rail lines. I'm pulling the Austrians back over here to this position, the Romanians back over here to this position, and trying to link up with Eugene von Osterreich. I'm launching an all-out attack over here with Eugene von Osterreich against the army of Ruslov. And what I'm trying to do essentially is draw the Russians in, see if I can force him to use gas. He may use gas, and obviously he won't be successful at that point if I'm not there. But the idea is I draw the Russians in here. Like I don't need to attack him over here when he has an advantage. I don't want to attack that. What I'm going to do is draw him in here where I can actually use the rail lines. And then we'll get him. I've got my cavalry over here, which is good. They didn't get the opportunity to recover cohesion, sadly, but that's okay. What I'm thinking about doing here, then, is maybe marching on this city here. It would take 26 days to arrive. Or could I move to Poltava? 34 days, okay. Down here is 18 days. Sadly, I only have 8% over here, otherwise I could have used the rail lines. But yeah, we'll move down here. I'm going to be able to regain... I'm going to be able to retain the cohesion, so it's not too bad. But yeah, I'll move on to this port over here. It is a depot. Has the harbour and a size 6 city as well, so it'll give me a nice bit of supply there. Also, hit that nice central node. Hey, Dinner Salty, good to have you, my man. What's up there, amazing? Good to have you, my dude. Hello, is the mechanics of the game similar to Civil War 2? Oh god, yeah. They're very, very similar games. Very, very similar. It's just to End All Wars is obviously on a larger scale there. But yeah, pretty similar. They do feel like they're pretty much like twins, if that makes sense. On the Caucasus front over here, we're moving the Ottoman corps that were kicked out back over here. We did lose Tbilisi, but we managed to retake Tbilisi as well, which is very good. I do have Ottoman forces. The Ottoman army is moving down this way. I'm taking these two corps over here and I'm going to move this way. I'd like to be able to deal with the Arabians if need be. Well, the Arabs anyway. But I also do like the idea of having some corps that can be redeployed if needs be. We do have new Ottoman divisions being raised, as well as Ottoman mounted divisions being raised, which is going to be quite good. I think we have artillery on the way as well. Yeah, 30 days for the artillery. We have militia divisions slowly making their way to the Caucasus as well to reinforce this position. In Egypt, I'm withdrawing to where we have our rail in the Sinai. And then what I'm going to do is, once we have our position recovered, I may create another depot over here when I do push forward. I just need to have my supply and cohesion in check. Once I've got that, I can actually push forward in a pretty aggressive manner. But I'm kind of hoping that he pushes the Entente forces over here and attempts to chase me. At which point, well, I'm regaining cohesion over here. I probably will reorganize these guys, but we do have heavy artillery over here, which is great. I also do have a 4th regiment of heavy artillery moving down here too. I think I have 1 brigade of heavy artillery actually from Constantinople, and 3 regiments of heavy artillery. I could produce more in the future actually, I may want to consider that. But yeah, they're moving down this way. Oh, something to note by the way, with the massive reorganization over here in the Rhineland. I think I showed it off earlier on, but yeah, you guys can see. Like, every corps, more or less, has heavy artillery in there. Be it a brigade or be it 2 regiments, they have the heavy artillery in there. And that's going to make a big difference. Like, I may have had 1 corps given medium artillery, and that was it. Besides the cavalry corps, they all got medium artillery. But looking pretty strong. Over here on the Balkan front, in Serbia, we're moving upon this Entente force over here. I believe this is just the army leader over here, so I'm just withdrawing all the forces, and then we'll move the Austrians around as needs be. We are conducting a offensive over here again. Obviously, our forces are diminished, but we do have reinforcements coming in, and we are deploying gas. At least I'm hoping that I've got the gas being deployed over here. What I essentially want to do is like try and destroy the French and try and just, yeah, anything, because he has his naval forces over here. He could transport them out, but I want to try and destroy them and just try and make it difficult. He does have transports over here, so we may be too late, but I've at least been able to inflict damage upon his French forces here. So, it may be for naught, but it is worth doing. We have forced him to... I mean, this is it. He did move forces to Egypt. I doubt he was hoping... I doubt he would have voluntarily given up Salonika. So, we'll force Salonika from his cold dead grip. And yeah, we gain an objective there. We gain control of the Balkans. We have pretty much everything under control then in the Balkans then, which is great. Hopefully one day we'll be able to bring the Greeks to our banner, but it's going to take some time. I do have Ottoman cavalry moving north to Ukraine. And yeah, what I'm going to be doing then is, once the Serbian situation is taken care of, allocating the Austrians to where they need to go, beginning to properly prepare for an Italian offensive. And yeah, we'll be pretty strong then. I'm just waiting on gas as well. Ideally, I could get a gas research and get to level 3 gas. That'd make a really big difference. But we do have the infantry, we do have the artillery. We have a tank advantage right now. Granted, he has tanks, but we actually have tanks in the field. Like, we actually have active tanks right now. So the good news is they will be gaining cohesion, and they will be ready. So it's going to be pretty all hands on deck then. I think we've got about 1 or 2 turns before we actually do launch the offensive. Well, give or take 1 or 2 turns. Probably in 3 or 4 turns we'll be launching the offensive. I think sooner the better. But I just need to have everything organised. I also do need to make sure that the tanks have actually got cohesion. And yeah. And I think at that point what I'll do is like try and shift armies around to support the offensive as I can. But it will be incredibly bloody, and it is going to be what it is. I mean, it's no guarantee of success. But we do have some very powerful armies over here. They're very well supported, they're very well led. It's about as good as it gets, really. But what we'll do now then, as we go forward... And like I said before, if he was to launch an offensive himself, it would hurt us. But it would be a really great opportunity for us to launch a counter-offensive. And see, that's a difficulty as well, because once we launch an offensive, he can also launch a counter-offensive. But it's just how it goes. And the good news is in about 3 turns we'll have a munitions factory over here at TEAW finished. We have the other munitions factories underway over here. 118 days there, so obviously a little bit longer for those guys to come online. But when they do come online, we'll have them. Right, just got more tanks moving in there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward here, and we'll resolve the turn. But yeah, we'll see. I'm still trying to figure out if there's any sort of point of weakness in the French line. And there kinda is and kinda isn't. Either way, he's going to have a pretty good defensible position. He's obviously got quite a few forces there to use. It's going to come down to really a sustained defensive. I mean, ideally, if we win the Battle of Salonika or he withdraws from Salonika, it means I have Austrians that are potentially free. I could potentially have some more Austrians allocated to the Western Front. We'd have to see. But we do have some very strong forces. Right, yeah, it looks like he's evacuating. He's either evacuating or reinforcing, but I'm going to assume he's evacuating. So see the Russian army over there. He's bombarding us over here in Africa. We actually do get to engage against the French. That's really, really good. Right, a very short and not particularly bloody engagement. We do take almost equal casualties, but we do score a victory there. And that's quite good, that's quite important there. Like, everybody's exhausted here. But what we're trying to do is just keep the pressure up. I don't know if that prevents him from withdrawing. We'll see. Ah, there we go. Oh, good. That's really good then. We actually do destroy the Russian cavalry here, which is really important. That's good. I hate when the cavalry run. He's assaulting us over here. Yeah, stalemate. But he takes another 10,000, almost 11,000 casualties over here. He's scoring breaches, but at the end of the day, like, they're very well entrenched. And it's cost him a lot of casualties. Right, we're seeing more divisions arriving over here. We're seeing heavy artillery over here by the looks. Ah, heavy artillery is actually moving around, which is interesting. Seeing Russians out here then, that's intriguing. Ooh, do we see the Russians actually arrive once again? Yes, we do. Yeah, okay, so he's got 45,000 Russians there who are exhausted. I mean, this was the... Yeah, you can see here we have 74,000, nearly 75,000. We have this first corps that was already established here, which already were dug in. They're not exhausted. Obviously, they're fatigued because they fought last turn, but they're not exhausted. While the Russians over here are exhausted. So obviously this is a last ditch. This is actually a decent corps commander as well. That's good. Yeah, he's chasing us down here. Alright, we're seeing supply moving over here, so obviously he's moving with a intention. It looks like he might have set up a depot there. In which case, if I can actually win battles, I can actually take it. Ah, so we see a second battle of Tbilisi here today. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. So we have another Turkish victory over here, another Ottoman victory against the Russians. Oh, we actually do see heavy artillery out here too. Yeah, he is obviously trying here. But again, he's losing casualties like crazy. This army was about 100,000 men when it came here. But it's been bled a hell of a lot. Ooh, so we do have the Battle of Riga. Quite a few rations here. But I think we'll get it. Yeah, we do achieve victory here. A costly victory there. 41,000 German casualties for 53,000 Russian casualties. So, while it is a victory, it is a pretty costly victory there. See some howitzers. But I do have to stress that these aren't particularly well-supported German corps or armies. We take out the Riga garrison there, which is interesting. But importantly, we do have the artillery advantage, even if we don't have as much in the way of heavy artillery. We do take casualties, but we can afford it. We do have more men, but obviously it's not ideal. I do have the Austrians over here, though, which is also quite important. I can see that the Russian army over here isn't that large, so what I can go ahead and do is launch an offensive over here to Lutzen next turn, and I'll put some more pressure on him there. But that's really good. We do inflict, and we do score a victory at Riga, which is a good deal for us. Do we get... Oh, why? Alright, okay, I was going to say, why is Eugene... Oh, yeah, here we go. Wow. Yeah, you can see the numbers there just melting. Oh my god, yes, they are just melting. Yeah, Brusilov's about to get his ass kicked. Yeah, that's looking particularly bloody for the Russians. Ooh. Yeah, that's gonna leave a mark. We lose 12,000... Okay, so that makes up for the battle at Riga there. Yeah. Oh, that's really awful. He just lost that army. Like, of the 106,000 men, 103,000, almost 104,000 are gone. We capture... Yeah. Yeah. We capture supply and munitions. We may have captured the air unit over here as well, actually. That's really good for us to gain. That's a lot of damage. But yeah, that was like a perfect setup for us, because I was able to... Apparently it shows defense, which is weird. I don't think it was defense, because I did have him set to, like, assault and all-out attack. So, yeah. Our men really did a... Oh, actually, no, saying that. In place, artillery batteries open to devastating fire. Did he attack me? He may have attacked me. Sometimes I wish it would say clearly who was the aggressor. But I'm seeing the emplaced artillery batteries over here, so maybe yeah, I've got the... I don't know, actually. Oh, then again, it does go on both sides, so I'm not too sure. We did have a lot of things in our favour there. I mean, like, good leadership, a lot of good stuff there. Yeah, I guess there's a breach in the south, yeah. Oh god, yeah. And maybe we can gain some national morale from this. I think this is definitely like a national morale victory. I mean, this is one that deserves to be, especially against like Brusilov too. But that's really great. We can march now on the south. I could even move north and strike a blow. Ah, there we go. We do catch the Serbians over here, then, so it looks like the 5th Corps, and that's a good Corps commander as well. But yeah, he loses Montenegrin supply. Maybe that is the end of the Serbians, then. Maybe the Austrians have finally finished them off. You know, I'm not sure there, Murky. I did set Eugene to all-out attack. He was active last turn, so I don't know. That's your favourite thing there, isn't it, Josh? Alright. So, a bloody turn. I mean, these battles have become bloodier. But I think a very good turn. Did we... Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, yes, sorry. Of course. Oh, I didn't actually gain national morale from battles. But we did have the Deutschland submarine, which we played, which has given us national morale. Also pushed the US away, which is good. Right, so we use chlorine gas over here in Salonika. We've increased support in Denmark and Sweden. Let's see. I'm surprised that the battle against Brusilov wasn't a national morale victory. It really feels like it should have been. That was like 10-1 or something like that. Winning the Battle of Riga as well was bloody but worthwhile. Yeah, so we captured 400 rifles from the enemy at Tbilisi. 5,900 prisoners there as well. It's a bit hazy, but was that big battle not the one where you railed a big army up behind a small corps? Oh, you mean at Riga or another one? Right, we gained 1,200 prisoners there at Riga. Yeah. I know, right? Eventually they'll surrender. I'm told that apparently we need... Yeah, there we go. We captured supply and airbase. Yeah, that's really nice for us there. Okay, especially the munitions. He did capture some from us some time ago. Oh, fuck me. Where's this? Wow. Oh my god, we just captured 106 war supply in there. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, we took 23,000 prisoners there. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so... I think we've just annihilated the army of Brusilov. I think his army is just gone. And that is one of the best... That's the best Russian general there. Imagine how much worse that could have gone against a weaker. But yeah, that's 106. Yeah, we've gained 122 war supply here on the battlefield. That's really good. That's really, really painful. Yeah, we're seeing lots of aircraft being lost. I do need to replace my aircraft, but honestly, I just need them. We're actually not doing too bad there. Shot down 22. I just need to have more. I just need to have more aircraft, like more fighters. But I could do that. Another 600 men over here. Sorry, 400 men, 600 rifles. Very nice. I think we were defending against Brusilov. Maybe. I mean, it does. It seems to indicate it with Eugene being on defense. In which case, he really did bark up the wrong tree. If the Russians had any morale, yeah, that'd be tough. The tanks are done, or at least most of the tanks are done. We'll check those out. Infantry, more infantry done too. Right. Yeah, much better turn. Yeah, oh, there we go. So we see the Lawrence of Arabia event over here, man. Okay. So to your Lawrence and additional Arabian units appear in Arabia. Arabia must be allied with the Western Entente. So T.E. Lawrence, more commonly known as Lawrence of Arabia, served as a liaison officer between the British Army and the Arabs, revolting against Ottoman rule in the Middle East. His friendship with King Faisal and intimate knowledge of Arabian culture greatly assisted in successful joint ventures against the Ottoman Empire. After the war, the British honoured few of the agreements Lawrence helped broker with the Arabs, however. Yeah, okay. So, Lawrence of Arabia will appear. But like I said, we did send some additional corps of Turkish infantry down that way, so we're probably pretty good. I don't know, actually. It's hard to say, because maybe, I don't know, maybe somehow he didn't see the army Eugene. I'm honestly not too sure. Who knows? But yeah, so we'll be dealing with Lawrence of Arabia, and this was the event I was talking about in Deutschland. So, Central Powers alignment in the USA +5, alignment in Germany +10, Central Powers national morale +5, which is really good. We've had like 10 free morale the last few days. Okay, so we have aviation, tank, artillery, U-boat. Useful stuff. So, the rations are at 55% now. What were they at? 52? 54? I forget what they were at last time. Alright. Italians have moved there, 23. The US is at 71% there. Obviously, I'm using my diplomats as well to try and keep that high. Yeah, the French have 38% rebel alignment. Austrians are down to 37 now, which is good. Yeah, I mean, this is it. The Russians there at 55. We just need to get them to the 70 mark, and then the revolution will begin. I'm told apparently Russia will be defeated by the revolution once that does kickstart. We're both at 90 on the gas, okay. So, I really want one of us to... Well, not one of us, I want us to gain it. We'll see about that. I may invest in the aviation this turn. And just have a level 3. But yeah, there we are. So we're at war with Arabia. We'll see what we can do about that. I'd love to march in here, but I need supply. Yeah, I can see that Lawrence Arabia there. So the Arabs aren't super strong. What I'm waiting for really is for him to move, and then I can go ahead and attack him once I do have... Yeah, once I do have an active core, I can go ahead and attack then. I could maybe move the Arab cavalry down here, or even have the Arabs over here. Depends, really. To be fair, apparently this is the only place he can go, but I'd rather him come down here and then I can attack him. So it's going to take quite a while to get over here. Our forces moving, it's going to obviously take some time. But we have our forces over here then, so what I'll go ahead and do is organise them properly. Get the armies organised properly. We also do have a Dutch. Maybe I have the Dutch move back home. We'll see. Or I could have them command the Bedouins. And then we have the Dutch Africa Corps. How you doing there, ST2? Good to have you, my man. We'll go ahead and check on casualties here today, then. So, we're at 2.5 ourselves. The rations are just shy of the 3 million mark there. Obviously, quite a few casualties. The Entente down at 64. I mean, their morale's pretty low. A million casualties here today for the Entente. Obviously, we did suffer a lot of casualties at Salonika. Oh, his forces are still here, actually, which is surprising, actually. Oh, did I forget to move forward the Bulgarians, though? I reorganized them. Maybe I forgot to march them. Yeah, the long march home, indeed. Alright, well, the good news is we have our forces here. I have an active commander, so I will, again, order the attack against the Entente over here. I'm not seeing ships over here now. I'm seeing the ships here. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, he has an army there. Right. Ooh. Ooh, I'm not sure how we want to go with that. I'm not sure. I think we will attack. But I'll go ahead and make it conservative attack. I may use gas here again, though. But I mean, this is at the end of the day, this is like the beat stick over here. If I can just keep beating on the French, then yeah, that's not bad. I'm not sure. He has a settlement, so he has the port. But yeah, it's an interesting one. But yeah, I think the Serbians are just done now. I think they only have their leaders and that's it. Why is that 31 days? My god. 2 days over there. Right, I do have more Austrians over here that I can move down there, but they're not exactly good. Oh, well, that's a mountain corps. There's an infantry there. That's not bad. Okay. These guys are actually worth sending. So I'll go ahead and move down additional forces here. I don't know. I'm going to assume if he has the city, he has the port. I'm not sure. But yeah. Maybe we may need reinforcements there, but we'll see. Frankly, if he's brought those Frenchmen there, where have they come from? Raises that question. And the good news is, with the Dutch over here, I do have another 2 supply wagons, which is actually really good. What I'll do is I'll form up a Ottoman force, and then we'll begin moving forward. Yeah, he is building a depot over here then, which is actually pretty awesome. I can actually make use of that then, but we'll consolidate our position and then push. But I do wonder where those French have come from. Ultimately, they've had to come from somewhere, haven't they? So yeah, Mountain is moving over here to the rails. They'll be there next turn, and then at least after that I can move them around again. Alright, there we are. I may need to go ahead and actually produce replacements for these other nations. I'll have to check that. Yeah, but that army of Brusilov, I think is gone. It doesn't show any power there, so I think that's just a dead army. I think they have been destroyed. If I go over here, then yeah. Oh wow, yeah. They're actually besieging it properly there. They're actually inflicting hits. That's pretty good. So yeah, we will eventually starve that to death. And the good news is that's just a militia division that's not doing anything really. Or wasn't doing anything. But yeah, it's inflicting hits there on the fort. So that's good. I can gain a free bit of national morale by just sitting here and they can't fight back. Eventually they'll just starve to death. That's great. Right. We were bombarded. Okay. Let's see. Now, they didn't retreat at Riga, but I do have more forces I can send now. Oh, right, okay. Did I have... Oh, the Ottoman cavalry arrived. Quite literally arrived. But yeah, we've gained some lovely, lovely things here. Did I regain some Austrian supply? That must have been the supply I captured, I think. Or did I capture 2? Anyway, some random supply that was there then, if it was Austrian. But yeah, there we are. We can go ahead and put that in the army of... Well, not you. Captured myself some free aircraft. Nice. We'll check on Finland in a moment. But yeah, we're good to go over here. So what we'll do then... Oh, actually, no, it's still showing that as a ship over here, so we might have a shot at that. Right, we'll be there next turn. I've got the Romanians over here. I've also got the Russian... Sorry, I've also got the Ottoman cavalry, which could be there actually in a few days. Maybe I'll get the cavalry moving that way. Yeah, I think we destroyed the army. There's only a few men left. Yeah, it doesn't show retreats. I think they were just wiped out. Which really is such a massive difference. 41% over here. He's actually got a good damn sized army over here. But I mean, look at it. He remained in position, which is okay. Oh, did my cavalry retreat? Okay. Interesting. Looks like he caught up to them. They're in a pretty difficult position where they are now. Let's head for friendlier territory right now. Or I could just even head off the rail. I need to get to somewhere. So maybe we head for Chernigov? I don't know, something like that. I don't know. He could always head there by rail. We'll just head this way. Oh, they're actually getting 2.4 cohesion back there. That's good. Yeah, and then the winged, Ottoman cavalry. I mean, this is it. They arrived. Just on the nick of time. So, I could do with like another Austrian army over here, I must say. Bull manager, just need to reorganize that. And we do have his rail line under our command, which is very handy. See some Russian cavalry out here. Right, let's repair the rail line here. And then we'll move on forward. So then, right, huh? So what was happening while Yuju was difficult? Oof, you'll have to watch it from the start, eh? But a lot of good stuff. Yeah, exactly. Dude, it takes some time to get to Moscow. When we don't have the rail lines, you have to take it, but yeah. Nearly there. We're nearly at Petrograd, though. Yeah. So, we did have our cohesion obviously take a hit from the march. They'll be there in a turn, okay. 18 days, damn it. I don't know if that's accurate, but I'm going to assume so. I guess the artillery slowed them down, maybe. Still besieging Helsinki with no real change. I think I will have them move forward then. Well, I mean, this is like a weak core over here, actually, so... I'll just have it in support then. I'll try and move forward on... I'll try moving forward over here. It's worth an attempt anyway. I mean, or I could wait. I think what I'm going to do then is just wait for the rest of the body to arrive, because then at least I should have enough to actually make something good there. I can allow my men to recover cohesion at least then, because obviously these guys are lower. They're not low on cohesion, but they're lower. So yeah, give them time to rebuild that cohesion. Once the other force arrives in a day, then yeah, we can move forward. Okay. So moving up over here then. Just taking control of the area. Seeing Russians over here. Yeah, so we did take quite the beat in here. I've got a pretty much almost dead division there from that. But it was worth it. Falcon High can rail in. And what I'll do is I'll launch another attack, but make it a conservative attack. And then we'll try and defeat the Russians here. I do have the Austrians. Sadly, he's not active right now. But I could have the corps actually carry out the attack, and I think I will. This army would be there 16 days, but I think they may reinforce perhaps. But even then, this isn't that powerful actually. They'll be there 10 days. So they'll be there to support. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, see, he tried to send the cavalry in here. Oh, my friend. There we are. See Russian cavalry over here, actually. I think that's been spotted by air, which is pretty good. Yeah, build another rail line and then we'll move this way towards these objectives. I do have some... Yeah, well, I've actually got quite a few Bulgarians over here. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Okay, I like that. I will take that. Lovely. Haven't repeated buffering. I am at home. Oh yeah, it's showing that there. Maybe I need to do the setup wizard then. I guess I'll do that afterwards or something. Yeah, I'll do that afterwards then. Like I said, I'm back at home now for a little while. So obviously, yeah, I'm on a different internet. So I'll go ahead and run that wizard. I forgot about that. Odessa still besieged? Oh, we took Odessa some turns ago. Odessa has been under our control for quite a few turns now, I guess. Yeah, we are sending men out this way. I'm sending Eugene this way, and then we're going to march towards Crimea. Yeah, so I guess the march on Crimea now, really. Securing this position here, if I could secure the dreadnoughts, that would be amazing. Without doubt, amazing. But the fact that Brusilov's army was just dissolved means that we're pretty good to go. Alright, let's build up control over here. Yeah, I just need to reorganize there. Well, let's see. If I can get cavalry over here, I could maybe gain enough control. This guy is going to take 11 days to get over here, 26 days this way. I can't speed that up, sadly, so next turn this army will be here, and then we can cross the river over here then. The Bug River it is, it seems. Yeah, so we'll cross the Bug then. But we may have Ottoman cavalry that could make it. In theory can make it. We'll have to see. If they can make it, that'd be incredible. If I could capture the dreadnoughts, that would be incredible. Like, that would be such a huge, huge capture. Because those things are... They're not something you really build. You can build it, technically. I mean, the British could do it, but... There's not many other people that could do that. Yeah. So we're looking good. We've got a lot of war supply over here. Capturing down on the battlefield was really good. Yeah. On this side, then, I have seen aircraft being lost, but I just need to go ahead and increase the amount of fighters I have. He's got a lot of men here. This seems to be the strongest force over here, then. I did see forces move around. He may have moved around heavy artillery. Right, we also do have 2 tank brigades here. Some additional divisions have arrived. Oh good, this one's active. I do have the Guard Division. The shame is that the Guard Divisions don't seem to upgrade, so they're not as good after level, well, the original level. Which is a shame, really. But nothing that can be done about it, really. Alright. bit of tankery here. Oh, we also do have Conrad who's arrived here, which is good. Right, so Hindenburg. So 3 brigades of tanks. I think that's all of them. In fairness, I could even use these as like reserves. But yeah, there we are. So let's see. Do have Conrad over here and the other Austrian army. Yeah. That's good. So that's another, yeah, a couple 100,000 men. Well, 100,000 odd men. About 200 odd thousand men, give or take. Something like that. I may put them into passive posture. I'm going to go ahead and put them into passive posture, actually. For the Austrians, that is. And then at least they can receive reinforcements. Well, replacements, I should say. But yeah, we're just waiting on the tanks now. Wow, god damn it. Hindenburg there, 765. My bloody god. That's powerful. So Hindenburg's army here then is 123,000 men, 510 cannon, which is interesting. So not an actually tremendous amount of cannon, but obviously we'll have the others that bring more artillery. But the fact is we have 279 vehicles. Obviously 160 of that is like trucks and armored cars, but we do have an increasing amount of tanks in there too. So that is... actually we're missing a tank there, but it's about 120 tanks. Obviously we do have additional tanks moving out now. Well, we'll be moving that. Yep, this one over here. That can link up with Hindenburg. Yeah, there was another. So, yeah, that wall supply is pretty good. I could actually build some super heavy guns if I wanted to. Right, there we are, lovely. I think that's all the German tanks. I do have the Austrian tanks. Ah, there we go, one of them's ready. And the other will be ready in about 4 days. So, what we'll go ahead and do then is send some tanks out to Conrad. Yeah, we maxed out the tanks. I'd love to max out heavy artillery, but that's going to take some time. Right, we'll get the tanks moving here. Sadly, they'll be there in 2 turns. Not quite exact, but that's okay. So, we're in late May. We're seeing mud over here on the ground. Yeah, I've seen mud in this area. What we're going to do then is wait for the tanks to arrive in position. It's a shame that it takes so long for them to arrive in position and obviously regain cohesion, but at least once they are here, they are here. I do have some other divisions around here actually that I've just finished up. Where are they? Maybe I should just check. Let me find it here. Alright. Oh, right, some Austrian divisions are ready. There we are. Yeah, I don't know why the guard don't upgrade. It's kind of weird. I guess it's just like an oversight. Right, I'll have the Austrians gather over here. I could have sworn I had some divisions over here, but maybe I was thinking last turn and that may have been the last one. Alright. $160 days, 200 days there. High Seas Fleet is looking pretty damn good actually. It's finally back up to where they should have been. Again, just waiting on these ships. Not these ones, these ones. They're eventually going to be ready, at least. And then the high seas fleet. And we haven't taken losses, just damage. So at least then we'll have the high seas fleet back in full functional, functionality. It'd be amazing if we could capture the, if we could capture the Russian Baltic fleet. That'd be hilarious. All right. I don't know. This is going to be a risk over here, but I think it's worthwhile. I may use gas again. I think it's definitely worth using gas over here. Just keep his cohesion low. Just keep hitting him. Just keep causing casualties. He does have a shitload of men there, but yeah, we'll see. If I need to send more men, I can send more men. You could argue actually that the Guard may be conservative and that's why they don't take up the upgrades. Yeah, at least I can take that rail line shortly. Right, looking good. In fact, I'll have them move over here. They can move down this way. I just need to reorganize that army. But no, I think that is really good. I mean, this is it. Like, we're able to advance on Plumber from so many directions now. Like, soon we'll be able to sort something here. I mean, this is where we see the most Russian resistance. But the thing is, I don't have to meet it unless I feel it's worth it. Oh, yes, down here. Yeah, some of these cores are a little spent. Let me go ahead and merge them. Just help them to be a little bit stronger there. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, really. The good news is we do have munitions building up now. We're really going to need them. Yeah, soon we'll begin marching on these objectives over here. No, we're looking pretty good. Honestly, I think we'll wait on the tanks to arrive. Let me see, I think I've completed all the German tanks. Yeah, all the German tanks are done. Just the artillery over here. Alright. I need quite a few reconnaissance planes. That's so expensive. We have replacements, I think we're okay. I don't know, it just seems like they're just not taking it from the system. I could replace my U-boats, but I'd just rather build new U-boats. Alright, let me take a look. So I do have a tank research here. How close are we to next level aircraft? Alright, I'm going to use the Fokker event. The Anthony Fokker. That'll put us to level 3 air. At least then I can have like superior fighter aircraft and also close air support. So if that's something else I could potentially gain an advantage in, that'd be great. But also just being able to match them would be really, 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 really bloody nice. I really need more fighters. Jesus Christ, I need fighters. I wonder when the High Seas Fleet is operational, or in future campaigns you could try leapfrogging when a coastal region falls. Potentially. The issue is it's like I can't seem to get rid of mines. I'm not sure about that. Not sure. But I don't know, I mean, maybe there's an opportunity for us to do something like invade Britain, but that's gonna be tough. Oh, dude. Greetings from Japan. Dude, that's cool. How you doing there, man? Hope you're having a good time. Keep it safe, keep it real. I know it's bloody expensive there, man, so yeah, make it worth it. Make it crack for you, my man. But that's cool. I just had a Bulgarian friend come back from a year in Japan studying there. Ah, jealous. But yeah, she was staying in Tokyo, and my god, it's expensive. Tiny ass apartment. Super expensive, but she had a great time. A lot of bad things too. A lot of sexual harassment stuff on trains especially, but yeah. Everything else is good though. But there is some shit there too. So yeah, be safe. But have fun. Alright. Honestly, I think we're good. I do have 172 state funds, so can I afford any aircraft? 305, Jesus Christ. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is just... I don't really need the Austrian ones as much. I think I'll cancel the Austrian ones. Maybe I can go ahead... Yeah, let me see. I'll tell you what, actually. Let me go ahead and just cancel out the fighters for now. And just build fighters. Yeah. Ah, bugger it. We'll just build fighters. I'd rather just actually build what I need. So we'll just do that. I can construct maybe 2. Yeah, we'll construct 2 then. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, there we are. In the future, obviously I can build replacements, but at least I can start building that now. Yeah, I'll work with that. I'll work with that. So, what I'm thinking here then is... Do we start to move the armies forward? I'm not sure. Oh, hang on. Ah, no wonder this army is actually a little bit over there. So what I'm assuming here then is these armies are probably just going to have the other artillery in it. Let's see. Yeah, 53. Hindenburg is in theory going to get the tanks. Maybe he still needs some artillery in there, but we'll see when we get to it. Housing can have 1. Yeah, then 4 there. Oh, 1 more there. Right, cool. Oh, housing can actually have a little bit more there. Okay. Oh, perfect. Oh, look at that. That worked out really well, didn't it? Yeah, that worked out really, really well. So, oh, that's cool. We just had the perfect amount of units there. Nice. Yeah, let the Austrians recover somewhat. And the good news is, at least with the Austrians there, then it just gives me a little bit more of a backbone. It gives us something to use. I could potentially just have the Austrians like used to cover our flanks. But yeah, we're looking pretty good there. So the Germans are pretty much ready to go. I mean, von Kluck's army is really good. Like, he's a very good offensive commander, just as good as Hindenburg on the offensive, sorry. Not as good strategic, not as good defense. But yeah, he's just as good on the attack. That's very important. So, we're just waiting on the tanks, just waiting on the Austrian allies to recover their cohesion. Recover some men as well. And then this is it, we'll be able to push forward and launch the offensive there, really. I think what we'll have to do is make very realistic goals. We'll have very realistic goals about what we want to achieve here. And honestly, if I could receive level 3 gas, that'd be wild. But what can you do? Hey, I've noticed that I've got this thing over here. I think I've got somebody wanting to watch on Steam or something. Interesting. Never noticed that. Yeah, our fighter pilots don't live that long. I think the main thing with mines is if you hold the coast, that mine... I don't know. Honestly, it's hard to say. Like, there weren't mines there, but we have mines here. Honestly, I don't know. Mines really are weirdly not explained at all. But yeah. So honestly, we're making some good progress. I think over here in the north, he just doesn't have the forces. We'll have our forces push up over here once we secure control of the rail lines and then push forward. I mean, it reduces the size of the front over here. It also does mean that, yeah, again, these cities that we can take away from the Russians, and then we can just defend along the river. Honestly, there's not really any Russian resistance out this way. Both of them are inactive right now. Ah, 100%. Okay, I'll wait till I get something there. I think Smolensk and Vitebsk are Vitebsk are in your hands. Yeah, pretty much. We do have a cluster of like 3 objectives over here, and that would be really awesome. I think Vitebsk, is that Vitebsk? I think that's how you pronounce it. Size 7 city. Size 10 over here to Smolensk. Mogilev. Again, big cities. Useful to take. Very useful to take. Obviously, then Moscow is down that line, but we're not going to reach Moscow by the time we get there. I just keep the fighters in Berlin. Eh, it's okay. The Russians will be gone. I mean, this is it. Eventually, he will get the Russian Revolution. He's at 55% now. He can't change government for another 15 turns. He can grant concessions in 3 turns, but that's only a 3% swing. It's kind of getting to that point now where it's just, he can't turn the clock back. It's just going to keep ticking, and eventually it will get to that point. Okay, I can grant concessions. But yeah, we're looking good in Germany there. So 88% alignment. Obviously I can make that better too. The Ottomans there, 24%. What did I just do? Oh yes, concessions cost, don't they? Engagement point. Oh, engagement points, okay. Gotcha. Here. Right. Oh, I wanted to... Yeah. I wish we could keep using the Zeppelins, but I will. I think we're in a pretty damn good state. I think it's going to be an extremely bloody series of turns to come in the future, but sometimes you just have to go with it. I don't know. We'll see anyway. I think the thing is, it's like we've got 4 German armies, we've got 2 Austrian armies in support. That's 6 armies there on the offensive. Maybe they don't work perfectly, but we've got tanks, we've got level 3 artillery. Obviously they've got level 3 artillery and they will have eventually tanks, but they don't have it right now. Oddly enough, I'm not seeing the British. I mean, the thing is, it's like, we have Hindenburg's army here, which has... well, it will shortly... Well, shortly may be even able to match the armies at Longwy. Or however you want to pronounce that. And it's like, well, once we have that, and obviously our additional forces as well, that's a lot of power. Our generals are good, or generally better, or at least usually better. Our men actually have a lot more in the way of experience from fights on the Eastern Front, at least those that have come from the Eastern Front. I mean, yeah, like, look at these guys. So these guys also been fighting on the Eastern Front, at least I'd imagine they've been fighting on the Eastern Front. Oh, ammunition level is depleted, which is interesting. But I think that should fix. I think that's just a silly thing. Oh, this army obviously needs ammunition, but they've only just arrived. I do have ammunition here anyway. 75, there might be more ammunition there than there is in the entirety of bloody Austria. At least it feels like that sometimes. But yeah, the good news is we still have a good conscript pool there. Yeah, that's good. Honestly, we're looking very strong. It's been very hard for Plumber, I've got to say. But I mean, this is it. We're finally in a position now where we can just push in many directions in Russia. The fact that his army dissolved down there in the south is really harsh. I mean, as soon as we open up these rail lines over here, I'm going to be pushing into the central parts of Russia here. And then taking those cities too. Like the Bryansk area, Gomel area, Bryansk. We'll be pushing on there. We've got obviously our forces in Finland, the Finnish expedition. They're pushing there. Obviously not this turn, but next turn, when we have the other force there, the main body, then we can push on Vyborg. So this is it. I don't know. I don't know what he could get there. Maybe he can move an army over there to Vyborg, but at the end of the day, it's like, even if he does move an army, we have about an army equivalent as well already. He can't have the men for everything. Like, he's got a lot of men down here, but issue is, what are they doing right now? They could be elsewhere, but the problem is we can also be elsewhere. I'm kind of just running down the clock now on the Russians. I may just attack him over here, actually. I'll launch a conservative counterattack over here at Tbilisi. I mean, this is it as well. Like, this army is bled to death over here at Tbilisi. If I could take Azerbaijan, that'd be amazing, but, you know, it takes a long time to get there. The Ottomans are being reinforced with new men. That'll be very helpful. So if we take a look at it then, in terms of power then, so 63 is the Entente there, and the Eastern Entente has 29. Obviously Navy's 197, 27 here. I don't know. He does seem to have a lot of men over here at Salonika. And if that army drops over there at Salonika, that's really quite wild. I would push us back, but I could send forces down here. But the thing is, if he truly has sent those men, like, where have those men come from? I don't know if they were there to begin with. I don't think he had that much power in the Army of the Orient. But if he's really sent those men down there to the Balkans, those are men that are not in France just as we're about to begin a offensive against them in their heartland. I can send men to the Balkans. I've got the men to send. I mean, that's obviously like a truly awesome amount of power, but we can match that. This is also why I'm like continuing to build up the Austrian army too, slowly but surely. But we do have the Romanians and Bulgarians to help out. I mean, let's take a look then. So, we're about 15 percentage points away from the revolution, which is going to be a couple turns there. Obviously, we'll be able to turn that back, so it's extended a little bit, but it's not going to extend it that much. But eventually, we will get the Russians out. The Entente is down to 64 morale. So we're getting to that point as well. I mean, if we won a good series of battles, we could even start to like have